we have a here we go for Danny Welbeck from Brighton and Hove Albion to Chelsea. Here we go. It's part of the conversations we had yesterday. Jordan Henderson and Danny Welbeck's move to Chelsea, and we were talking about the experience, who would actually impact the Chelsea team positively than the other. Henderson is 36, Danny Welbeck is 35. So I experienced Premier League internationals, and yeah, for me, I still repeat the same thing. Danny Welbeck will offer more to Chelsea on the field than Jordan Henderson. And yes, we can say Henderson has got a lot of leadership qualities. He can do this, do that. You understand? Yeah, but for me, I think that Danny Welbeck's quality on the field is really something that you cannot hide. Last season, we are going to go through stats, by the way. We are going to go through stats so we all can actually see the kind of season he had last season with Brighton. Dennis Bergkamp, nice to have you back, man. How is the weather in LA this morning? Oh, okay, this night, because you guys are still. Is it 12 a.m.? You guys are in 12 a.m., right? Dennis Bergkamp, Daniel. This should be 12:15 a.m. in LA right now. Yeah, I was about 15 minutes late. I was setting up something after I scheduled my stream. Okay, I want to check the stats. I want to check the stats of okay. Let's compare Joao Pedro with. Okay, let me not go with the comparison. Let me just go with player. Todd Ferguson, it's nice to have you back, brother. I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. I hope you're good as well. Todd Ferguson. All right, Welbeck. Let me check his stats last season. Yeah, let me check his stats because I know for sure he had a very good season with Brighton, regardless of his age. He will be 36 in November. By November 26th, Danny Welbeck will be 36 years old, but he's still very much he's still very much active in the game. He's not someone that cannot run because of the age. He's still got some legs and he can also score you goals. Yeah, that's one thing you cannot take away from him. He's he's actually gotten better the older he got. He improves his game, and yeah, he's been a better player. Because when he was at Man United, he was just a teenager who didn't know his way around the game. He struggled a couple of times. So, but right now, Danny Welbeck is a seasoned professional, and sincerely, he's going to do well for Chelsea. And I said this yesterday that I wouldn't mind Manchester United going to sign Danny Welbeck as a backup to Benjamin Sesko. Yes, he's not going to be our focal point, the main man starting games for us week in, week out, right? Some games you might want to give Sesko a rest, you start Danny Welbeck. Some games you might bring in Danny Welbeck from the bench. He's got that experience and he can give you a lot. Okay, let's look at Danny Welbeck's stats last season. Todd Ferguson says, I think he can be productive. Yes, he definitely can be. Some people are actually complaining because of his age. And for me, the age is not a problem, right? Because he can still deliver, he can still run, he can still do those basic things that we expect of players. Now, let's go through Danny Welbeck's stats last season. Now, he had, just imagine, as at last season, he was 34 years, right? 34 years into 35. Now, last season, he had 37 appearances. That's crazy. 37 appearances. Now, the 37 appearances, he actually was a substitute 9 of those times. So, which means, sorry, 11 of those 37 appearances were as a substitute. He had 13 goals and 1 assist. For a 35-year-old, that is a very, very good record. If you look at strikers last season in the Premier League, right? If you look at strikers in the Premier League last season, I think it's just only a few attackers that had more goals than Danny Welbeck. I would go with Erling Haaland, of course, had more goals than Danny Welbeck last season. This guy from Brentford is a Brazilian. What's that his name? Igor Thiago. Igor Thiago had a better season, had more goals than Danny Welbeck. Who else? Who else? Because I think Welbeck was in the top 6 or top 5 of goal scorers last season. There are a couple of names I'm trying to pinpoint that were just above him. The rest players, Welbeck was above them. Now, if you look at, for example, Manchester United now, none of the Man United attackers got more goals than Danny Welbeck in the Premier League last season. Man United's highest goal scorer in the Prem last season was Benjamin Sesko with, I think, 11 goals, yeah. Is it 11 or 12? Okay, I think it was 11 that Sesko had. Now, Welbeck at 35 had 13 goals. So those numbers are very, very decent for me. Very, very, very decent. Dennis Beckham says 35-year-old Danny Welbeck is better than 35-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo. Nah, come on, man. Come on. Welbeck, yeah, Ronaldo at 39 was still playing, I think, was it at Juventus? At 35. Now, Ronaldo scored more goals at 35 than Welbeck. He scored more goals at 35. Ronaldo was still balling at that age. Even at 40, he's still scoring goals. Mohamed Tikate says, where are you from? I'm from Nigeria, bro. I am a Nigerian. Programming says, Messi fans are like, they are really upset now. I know Spain got this. Spain was going to win the world. I think there is also another topic as regards Messi, Argentina, and the World Cup we are going to talk about later on. And that's regards the Switzerland game. The IFAB came out to say stuff about the Switzerland game. So we're going to get to that, right? Because there are so many things we will discuss on this morning show. But we are starting with the Chelsea new signing that they just reached an agreement with Brighton for. Yeah, and that's Danny Welbeck. So we are definitely going to go over that conversation, right? So we have a lot of things to discuss. The FIFA and the UEFA saga, so many things. We're going to discuss so many things on this morning show. Musa Tanko says, good morning, sir. Nobleman, do that organizer is back. Oga Musa, give me latest news for Manchester United. For now, I will still go through Man United's news, right? But we are starting with the Chelsea news because on this channel, yes, I'm a Man United fan, but our news coverage is not only centered on Man United. I cover news for different clubs. So whether it's Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, name it, any top club in Europe, we cover their news and we, react to them, and I give my thoughts and opinion about these particular news, or even if it's general news in terms of maybe like FIFA, for example. And the FIFA conversation is also another one we'll have to get into this morning because there are so many controversies, so many issues going on in FIFA. The tug of war between FIFA versus UEFA. We are going to go through that for sure. Musa Tanko says, please let the Man United team to buy more players. United definitely needs more players. I have said this. Even my friends in our group chat, I spoke to them and I said, yo guys, United need to sign more players. We made Champions League last season. Yes, we know what we went through prior to Michael Carrick came in. Right? And I just cannot afford Man United to struggle again next season. So we need more players. Most definitely, we need more players. We need more players. Okay, and talking about the Danny Welbeck stats, because I'm yet to read out all his stats before I looked at some comments in the chat. Like I said, he had 37 appearances. 11 of those were as substitutes. So he didn't have any issues in terms of maybe injuries, not appearing, missing games. So out of 38 games that were played last season, Welbeck missed just one game and he's 35. So if you're looking at the injury record, he's actually got a very very fitness record, right? So it's really really a very very solid record. For me, if I can get any of my player to play me 37 games, come on as a substitute for 10 or 11 games, that would be a gold, honestly, because if you look at the fitness of players recently, it's been very 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 bad. It's been very very bad. A minute, guys. A minute. I need to send someone something. A minute. Let's see. I want to send someone something, guys. Give me a minute. Okay. Teresa Harris says, Morning, Noble. Haven't spoken to you in a while. Yes, bro. I know since after the World Cup, most people have, taken a back seat as regards football, because there is no active game at the moment. It's just preseason, and the World Cup was very stressful for a lot of people. The timing for people in Europe, Africa, Asia, the World Cup was very very stressful. It's only people in North and South America that actually had a good time in terms of the timing of the World Cup. But for other continents, it was a serious problem for us watching the game. Yes, I have a TikTok, Teresa Harris. My TikTok handle is Noble's View. Just search me up on TikTok, you see it. I have over 1,000. Okay, not over. I think it's about almost 1,900 and I think 912 or 913. Those are my numbers for my TikTok. I just opened my TikTok 4 weeks ago. About 4 or 5 weeks ago was when I opened my TikTok. So you can check my TikTok out. For those who don't follow me on TikTok, guys, do well to follow me on TikTok. Noble's View. Yeah, it's my Instagram that is Nobles_view, but for my TikTok is Noble's View. So just search it out. It's the same profile picture you can see on my YouTube, Instagram, that you definitely see on my TikTok. So it's the same. It's one account, one name that I use for all of them. Just that my Instagram, I put underscore on it. So for those who don't follow me on TikTok, guys, follow me on TikTok, Nobles_view. Nobles View. And once in a while, I'll try my best to see how often I can go live on TikTok, because the app that I'm very very much active in terms of live stream is YouTube. Yeah, so but I'll try my best to see how I can make out time for the TikTok family. Okay, we were talking about Danny Welbeck, and let's look at other stats for Danny Welbeck, right? He has 13 goals, like I said. His XG is 12.44. So he actually supersedes the expectation of goals that people, the whole stat world, were actually looking at him getting. So he got 13 goals. Now his XA, that's expected assist, is 1.4. That means he did not reach his expected assist. He only got one assist last season. Now he had his shot on target inside the box. These numbers are good. His shot on target inside the box are 20. Shot on target outside the box were 5. So his shot on target outside the box were not good. Yeah. those numbers are not good, but the one inside the box is perfect. Touches in the opposition box, 114 for Danny Welbeck. Then how many times he hit the woodwork? 3 times, and he scored once out of those 3 times he hit the woodwork. Then his penalties were 3. He scored just 1 penalty out of 3 penalties, so his penalty record wasn't good. Yeah, free kicks, he had 3 free kicks. Possession 486, passes 79%, long passes 9, 56%, corners taken 1. So if you look at the stats, Welbeck is still very, very much productive. Yeah, like someone said in the chat earlier, Welbeck is very, very productive. So he's a very good signing for Chelsea. I'm not a hypocrite that would come out and say, oh, Danny Welbeck is a rubbish signing. Why should Chelsea go and sign Danny Welbeck? Now, far from it. I am someone, when I see the truth, I say it. Yes, we can banter. I can banter whenever I want to. But if I'm trying to analyze the situation, I will analyze it without sentiment or bias. So, analyzing the signing of Chelsea, of Danny Welbeck from Brighton to Chelsea, guys, I kid you not, this is a very good signing. And I said this a couple of days ago. I wouldn't mind having Danny Welbeck at Manchester United as a backup striker and an experienced striker that would help Benjamin Sesko. This guy is not injury prone. He played 37 games last season in the Premier League. He came on as a sub 11 times. So if you check it out, 26 games was what he started for Brighton last season. And that is very, very good, and even being an overachievement for a 35-year-old last season. So it's a very, very good signing for Chelsea Football Club. I'm not going to lie, guys. A very, very good signing. And Jordan Henderson deal is going to be through in the next couple of days. Very, very much close. Very, very much close. Rudy Comac, welcome back, bro. Nice to have you back. Nice to have you back. Okay, I'm going to put up a poll on the chat. On the screen. I actually forgot to put that out on the screen, but I'll do that now. Is Danny Welbeck, yeah, I'm going to put it up on the screen. Is Danny Welbeck a good signing for Chelsea? All right, let me go that way. Yeah. Is Danny Welbeck a good signing for Chelsea? Yes or no? Let's get the poll out, guys. Let's get your thoughts for those who are going to be, for everyone actually, not for those. I need everyone to participate in the vote. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Let me know. Have you read the papers? Do you hear what they say? Rising unemployment, cost of living every day is getting high. Rudy Comac says, are you excited to watch Tielemans play? Yes, I am. I actually do like his style of play because he's one player who is good on the ball and off the ball. He's got some pressure. So it's a very good signing for Manchester United. I've said this. I like him. He's the only signing that I can say Manchester United has made so far this season. For Santos, sorry to say, I'm not looking down on the kid, but I strongly believe that the only signing Man United has made this season is Youri Tielemans, right? Because Santos' quality, I still say this, except he proves me wrong, and I hope he proves me wrong, right? I still see Santos and Toby Collier to be on the same level. That is why I am very, very much surprised that Man United had to go waste 50 million pounds to sign a bench player, not even a first option on the Chelsea bench, but a second option on their bench, to go sign him for 50 million pounds. That doesn't make sense to me. I would rather Man United give an opportunity to one academy player than go sign Santos for 50 million pounds. That's a crazy transfer fee. Sincerely, it's a crazy fee. Rudy Comac says, do you think Sheshko is going to score more or less goals? Benjamin Sheshko got 11 league goals last season in his first season in the Prem. So this season I am predicting Sheshko to score more goals. I'm actually looking at Sheshko getting about... Yeah, I'm looking at Sheshko getting 17 goals, 16, 17 goals. That's my prediction for the number of goals I think Benjamin Sheshko would score for Man United next season. Because our attack is supposed to be better. And I need Man United to get me one more player in attack. I'm not comfortable with Joshua Zexi being my backup striker. He's actually not shown me that he's capable of carrying on that responsibility. Last season, Joshua Zexi, was it 1 goal or 2 goals that he scored for us last season? And that is very, very crazy. For a young boy, that's not a good record. Moose Football Cow says, hi, I'm back. Who did they sign? Chelsea signed Danny Welbeck from Brighton. Jordan Henderson is the next one that is going to be coming to Chelsea in the next couple of days. So Chelsea has been very, very much busy in this transfer window. They have gotten Palestra, was it from Bologna? They got Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa. They signed Maxence Lacroix from Crystal Palace. Now they just completed the signing of Danny Welbeck. Welbeck is going to undergo medicals, I think, later on today. And for Jordan Henderson, in the next couple of days, we might get a here we go for Henderson. So currently, Chelsea has signed 4 players. Out of these 4 players, I am pretty sure that 3 out of the 4, I can rate them to be very good signings. This Palestra boy, I have not watched him play, so I don't really know what Palestra's game is like. Yes, he's a defender. They say he plays right back and left back. Fine and good, but I've not really watched him play in real time. So I would wait to see him play before I can actually give my verdict on what I think about the signing. So I don't really have an opinion about him because I don't have enough data to actually speak about Palestra. But when I watch him, probably within 1, 2, or 3 games, then I can say, okay, this player, this is how I rate him. Probably I give him a 5/10, a 6, or an 8/10. So let the season begin. I've not watched any Chelsea game. Chelsea just played 1 game yesterday against Sydney Wanderers FC or so, which they won 6-4. That game was crazy. And the game was actually going on while we were live yesterday for the morning show. I didn't know Chelsea had a game at that time. So on Saturday, I'm going to be very much available for the games that will be played. Arsenal has a game on the... Is this second? I think, let me see. Okay, Arsenal has a game on the 1st, but for me, it's on the 2nd. So Arsenal has a game on the 1st of August, which is Saturday. That game will be played at 6 p.m. UK time. Yeah, it's a 6 p.m. game. I'll be doing a live watch along for that game. Man United has a game against Atletico Madrid the same day. United game should be around 7 o'clock or 7:30. Man City has a game against Inter Milan around 7. No, Man United game is 9. Man City Inter Milan is about 7:30. Then Liverpool has a game the next day. I'm looking. Chelsea Tottenham, yeah. Chelsea Tottenham is around 10:45 a.m. UK time. So I'll be doing those games are packed at the same. If this one finishes, the next one starts, then the team starting first is Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur, 10:45 a.m. UK time. The next game is Manchester City against Inter Milan, followed by Manchester United against Atletico Madrid. Then finally, Arsenal will be playing at 6 p.m. against I think it's Girona. Yeah, Arsenal will be playing against Girona. So these 4 games, I'm going to be covering them. I'll be doing a live watch along for them. It's been a rest period for me in this couple of days, right? Because they have not been watch alongs. It's just the morning show we do every morning. Yeah, but once the proper season starts now, it's going to be very, very stressful because we'll have lots of watch along. So that's why I'm taking my time to rest now, because once the season starts proper, yeah, we'll be having back-to-back games. Dennis Beckham says, have you seen Benjamin Sesko body transformation? Yeah, I actually made a video about his body transformation, and I said the Premier League defenders should be very, very worried about Benjamin Sesko, because that boy's new look is scary. Like, he gives me the Arnold Schwarzenegger vibe. I think Arnold is it Commando? Yeah, Arnold is Commando. He gives me that vibe. Man, looking at him. Yeah, it's a crazy transformation. I would say very, very crazy transformation. Dennis Beckham says, "Are you gonna be live? Are you gonna live stream the UEFA Super Cup PSG versus Aston Villa?" Of course, I'm definitely going to live stream that game, but I've not checked the date. When is the date for the game, Daniel? It's just random says, hi, you are live every day. Yes, I go live every day. Every day I go live. And when the season starts proper, I'll be going live every day as well. And also when we have match day. For example, Fridays, some Fridays there are games. Saturdays and Sundays are very, very packed for me. For me, when it comes to my personal life, Saturday and Sunday, I don't really have time for any other thing, right? Because there are games to be played, and I try my best to see how I can schedule my activities to leave space for me to be able to do the live watch along. Because one thing with me is I love watching football, and I love to watch football with people. So to have those interactions live while the game is ongoing, give my thoughts about the game while it's live, and also people react at the same time, it's fun for me. Honestly, it's just fun, and I can watch 3 games, 4 games straight, and it will not be me like a problem, because it's something I've been used to. Even before I started doing live stream, I can just watch 3, 4 games on a stretch, and I find it fun, because we just, most times with your guys, you just have fun, banter, and just gist about the game, right? So it's been very, very interesting. So for people who are not part of the Noble View community, kindly subscribe to the channel, so that when we go live for the watch alongs, you also be part of the community to join and participate in that as well. And also for the daily morning show, where we just talk about news, react to football news around the world. Antonio Locox La Lucha says, I fell in love with my friend. Okay, you fell in love with your female friend, right? Well, it's something that is normal. Yeah, it is something that is normal. So it depends on if the feeling is actually mutual. Okay, then it's back camp August the 12th. Okay, that's like 2 weeks from now. Okay, August 12th. And Arsenal will be playing on the 14th or 15th. Arsenal Man City. Okay, if they play August the 12th, which is midweek, Aston Villa PSG play midweek, then by weekend Arsenal is going to play Manchester City. Okay, I get it. Thank you very much. Ale01 Big says, what's up, my brother from another mother? Are you Nigerian? Yes, I am Nigerian, bro. I'm a Nigerian. How about you? Where are you connecting from? Guys, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button and also let us know where you're connecting from. Ale101 Big says Netherlands. Alright, man. Thank you very much. Nice to have you on the channel. Are you from Eindhoven, Amsterdam, or where exactly in the Netherlands? Picasso the Uplander. Nice to have you back, man. Yeah, I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing amazing. I hope you are doing good as well. Picasso. Dennis Beckham says Netherlands versus Morocco. Which game? Which tournament is that? Dennis, which tournament is that? Uh, Ale101 Big, can you hear me now? I muted my what's it called? I muted my mic earlier on, but I hope you can hear me. Rudy Comac says I'm from Scotland. Isle of Skye. What do you mean by Skye? Is Skye a city in Scotland? Because I've never heard of that city before, like being part of Scotland. So which part of Scotland are you from, Rudy Comac? Dennis Beckham says World Cup round of 32, remember? Netherlands, Morocco. Okay, yeah. I remember. Yes, I remember that game. I remember the game. Morocco, for me, I actually predicted a Morocco win in that game. Yeah, I predicted that Morocco was going to win that game. So, yeah, I was not surprised when some people were surprised that Morocco won against the Netherlands. I think that was the one on penalties. Cody Gakpo scored, and I forgot who was it. Saibari that equalized for them, or who exactly? But no, it was not Saibari. It was this guy, this Fulham defender, Issa Diop or Diop. It was Issa Diop that equalized for Morocco. Yeah, Cody Gakpo scored first, and in the dying minutes of that game, Issa Diop equalized for Morocco, and they went into extra time. They won on penalties. Yeah, I remember that game. I remember that game. Ali01 Big says, my country, though has a lot of history in football, definitely deserves to win a World Cup once. Yes, the Netherlands, I think in Europe, if you're looking, I think the Netherlands even has more football legends than the Premier League. Like, I mean, serious legends. Okay, let me not say more than the Premier League, because the Prem had people like Sir Bobby. I think Dennis Law was also English. George Best was English as well. There's this Liverpool legend I've actually forgotten. I think it will be 50-50 between England and the Netherlands, right? Yeah. England. I remember a couple of England legends. Now I remember a couple of them. But in the Netherlands, you have, yeah, Overmars. You have Overmars. You have Gullit. You have yeah, of course, Edwin van der Sar, Van Basten. Yeah, Van Basten. Rude, Iron Robben, a couple of big names in football. You go to Germany. Yeah, Van Persie is also included on that list. You go to Germany, you have people like Matthäus, you have people like Beckenbauer, you have people like Gerd Müller, like top legends. You go to Italy, a lot of them. So in Europe, if you're looking at, let's say, top three countries with legends of the game, the Netherlands definitely has to be on that list. Definitely. Yeah, they have to be on that list, honestly. They have to be on the list. But one thing with football right now is, I think recently the Netherlands, they did well in their last no, they did. The Netherlands qualified to the finals of the 2010 World Cup, which they lost to Spain. Then, if you look at the 2022 World Cup, I think they were knocked out by Argentina in the, was it semi-final? I think it was a semi-final that they were knocked out by Argentina. That game that was very controversial, right? The game was very controversial. They were knocked out by Argentina, either semi-final or quarter-final. Then in this World Cup, they were knocked out in the round of 32. So you can, it's safe to say that they did not really do well in this World Cup that was just concluded. Mariam says Van Dijk. Hi, Amel. Who is Amel, Mariam? Picasso says Beckham, Rooney, Adams, De Coit. Yeah, Coit. I remember Coit of Liverpool. Yeah, Coit was one player that delivers in big games. I used to see him as a threat in the Liverpool team then. De Coit. You had people like this black guy, Ryan Babel. Ryan Babel used to disturb Man United a lot. He used to disturb Man United a lot, honestly. Picasso says Banks, Seaman, Gascoigne, Beckham, Rooney, Adams. Yeah. Wayne Rooney. David Beckham, I used to enjoy his free kicks. David Beckham's free kicks were crazy. Yeah. His free kicks were crazy. Mariam says Amel A means how are you? It's for you. Oh, Amel. Alright, thank you very much. So what is my response supposed to be if you say Amel A? Picasso says Ryan Babel was crap. Come on, man. Now, I think there were about 2 seasons that Babel did very well for Liverpool. And most times when he played against Man United, he used to disturb us then. So that's why I called out his name in terms of playing against the big teams. Against Man United, he always was a problem for us. Yeah, he always plays very well against United. Ale01 Big says Bergkamp is also Dutch. Yeah, Dennis Bergkamp. Yeah. Dennis Bergkamp is also among the top list of the Dutch legends. Now, the Netherlands used to produce a lot of top players, a lot of them. It's just recently, I think, aside, I don't want to go for RVP. Robin Van Persie time is way past, same as Iron Robben. But recently, in the last 10 years, it's only Virgil van Dijk, Frankie de Jong, Who else? Memphis Depay. I really don't rate Memphis Depay much because he came to my club, Man United. He was actually swallowed up by the uh, the level of Man United. He couldn't do anything, but he went elsewhere. He played for Barca. He's I think he's in Brazil right now, right? So I don't really rate Memphis Depay, but I know he's a Dutch legend because he's the highest goal scorer in the Dutch national team, and I was very very much surprised. Seriously, I was very much surprised when I found out that Memphis Depay is the current highest goal scorer of the Netherlands, where you had people like Arjen Robben, Mark Overmars, Kluivert, Patrick Kluivert, Gullit, lots of these legendary players that I know, and Memphis Depay happens to be the highest goal scorer in the Netherlands. It's a surprise. Andrej says hello. Andrej, nice to have you on the channel, bro. I think you've been on the channel before, Andrej. Picasso says he was absolute dog. Come on, man. Now, Ryan Babel was not the best of players. What I meant was this. He always against Man United, he always troubles us. That's just one thing I remember very much about him. It's not like maybe in the Premier League he was one of the top 5 best attackers in the league that time. Nah, that was not the case. It's just, for example, like Welbeck, right? Welbeck always performed well against Man United, his parent club, where he was an academy boy for years. Against Man United, Welbeck always does well. But if you're looking at the best 10 or 20 players in the last 10 years, you definitely might not even have Welbeck in it. You not even might. You will not have Welbeck in it. So I I just know against Man United, Ryan Babel used to do well. Mariam says, say Alhamdulillah. Anna Kois means Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Okay. Mr. Kindness says, yes, he's a good signing. Yeah, I like the Danny Welbeck deal. Even as a Man United fan, I said it. If Man United can approach him before Chelsea finalize a deal for Danny Welbeck, I would not mind it because we just looked at Danny Welbeck's stats now. He scored 13 goals in the Premier League last season and had 1 assist from 37 appearances for a 35-year-old. That is a gold mine. That is really, really a gold mine. So I'm not a hypocrite that would come out and say, oh, Welbeck is just an old rubbish player. You can't get anything out of him. Nah, that's a lie. He is actually very, very productive. I would say he's actually overproductive for a 35-year-old. He'll be 36 on the 26th of November in the next coming months, right? So he's actually very, very productive, very, very good. And of course, he's very much levels above Liam Delap. You can say Joao Pedro is more energetic than him. Joao Pedro scored 20 goals for Chelsea last season in the league, and Welbeck got 13 goals. So you can say based on last season, Joao Pedro achieved more than Welbeck, of course, right? But for me, Welbeck is a very, very good signing. Very, very good signing. His experience will help the team. And that was why I said Man United needed someone like that. But since we have not, Man United did not sign Welbeck, I think the next option now for experience up front to help Šeško is Oli Watkins. I don't know if Villa will be able to part ways with him now. If Villa will be, then it will be very, very good to go sign Oli Watkins from Villa to come be our second striker. Or in some cases, he might even start ahead of Benjamin Šeško, and Šeško will learn off him. Picasso says, for every Dutch legend, I'll give you 3 English legends. Nah. For every Dutch legend, you give me 3 English legends. Nah. I think it's it's pretty much almost a 50-50. So it's not like the way you're saying it, for every Dutch legend, you give me three English legends. Nah, I honestly, I honestly don't think that. Seriously. I honestly don't think that. But um, I think it's only Germany. Is it Germany? I think it's only Germany that I can say has more like top football legends than the Dutch. Let's say, okay, Germany and Italy. But for England and the Netherlands, I think it's pretty much a 50-50. Yeah, I think it's a 50-50, honestly. James, welcome back to the channel, bro. Nice to have you back, James. Mariam says, that English league, I don't follow it. How clubs are there? I know Liverpool, Manchester City, United, Arsenal, and Chelsea. I'll support three of them. All right, Mariam, no problems. Arsenal 8517 says, yo, bro, how are you? I'm doing good, Adam. I'm doing very, very good, man. It's nice to have you back. Chelsea, from signing all young ones, yo, all experienced players. Now it's actually a good blend, Adam. It's actually a good blend because if you look at the Chelsea squad, it's filled with lots of young players and they are getting experience now. But I think that Jordan Henderson experience is not needed. Sincerely, that Jordan Henderson experience, quality wise, I still don't see what Henderson can give you on the pitch, honestly. If you tell me about his leadership qualities, then I can say, okay, if it's about the leadership qualities of Jordan Henderson, I quite agree. But quality on the pitch, nah. But the Danny Welbeck one is a very, very good signing. I've said it since yesterday. We did that on the stream, looking at Henderson and Danny Welbeck. I said it. Mr. Kindness says exactly. Yeah, bro. It's James. Welcome back, man. Arsenal 8517 says, how the F did Nigeria lose to Malawi? Bro, I didn't watch that game, right? I think I was feeling very sleepy when that game was going on. So when I woke up, I saw 2-3 scoreline and I'm like, how did this happen? Nigeria actually the record holders of the most WAFCON trophy with 10. I don't think there's any country in the world that has. I don't know about Brazil women, right? For the Brazil women team, but I don't think there's any football team that has won 10 like continental titles. I don't think so. So for the Nigerian women that are the record holders of the most WAFCON title won in the history of WAFCON, to lose to Malawi, that was a surprise. And it was actually 2-0. Then they equalized 2-2 later on and still lost that game. I don't understand, honestly. Maybe I will try to see if I will watch their second game. I don't even know who they are playing against in the second game. Angry Bird says, Ronaldo prays next World Cup he gets Uzbekistan. Noble will have kids before Ronaldo retires. Come on, this guy. I know you're a Ronaldo hater and you're making what's it called? You're actually catching cruise with with Ronaldo. But anyways, enjoy and carry on, bro. Enjoy. LO1 Big says, are you Igbo or Yoruba? What is Malawi? Is that a country? I'm Igbo by tribe. I'm from the Igbo tribe. And Malawi, of course, is a country in Africa. Malawi is a country in Africa. You don't. If that's the first time you're hearing about Malawi, I'm surprised to hear that, bro. Arsenal 851 says, yeah, but bro, I feel Nigerian football is declining badly. I think in defense of the Nigerian women's national team, the Super Falcons of Nigeria, I would um I would just say that was a bad day in the office for them, because those girls, I've watched their games a couple of times. Those girls are wicked. Those girls are very good. I just, because I didn't watch the game, so I can't really pinpoint say this was where the players got it wrong or the manager, right? But I saw a lady that was analyzing the game on Instagram when I woke up this morning, and she was saying something about the coach being the one who messed up the game, benching some players and all that, making the substitutions late. So I didn't watch the game, because if I had watched that game, I would say, okay, this is exactly where the manager got it wrong, or the players did this, did that. But the Nigerian girls are still very, very good. I'm telling you this, they are very good. They are still the title holder, the what's it called, the current holders of the title. They won against Morocco in the final, in Morocco as well. They were losing 2-0 in the final. They came from behind to win 3-2 in that final against Morocco. So the Nigerian women national team, the Super Falcons, those girls are very good. I will try my best to see if I can watch their second game. I know they are going to be really, really geared up for that second game, because having lost to Malawi, nobody expected it, myself included. I did not expect them to lose that game, honestly. Arsenal 8517 says, no disrespect to women's football, bro. Let's talk football and no disrespect to genders. Lightning Blade says, bro, you still here after the World Cup? Of course I'm here. I was here before the World Cup, and I'll still be here after the World Cup. Yeah, the season is yet to start, and every morning I come to the channel and we discuss about football news, transfers, what we have going on. And we started with Chelsea, and there are still other conversations we will have, and that will be the FIFA conversation about trying to privatize some stake in the FIFA. Also, the conversation about IFAB coming out, was it yesterday, to say that the Mbolo red card was not supposed to be a red card, the Argentina game against Switzerland. So these and many more conversations, we would have this morning. We already talked about what's it called, the Danny Welbeck one from Brighton to Chelsea. So we're going to go over other conversations. LO1 Big says, Victor Osimhen, it seems you know a bit about Nigeria. LO1 Big. Picasso says, women's football is lower than academy football. Come on, guys, it's not that deep. For me, I have not picked full interest in women football. That's just the honest truth. And it's not me being gender based in terms of football. The women football has not caught my attention fully. Maybe in due course, it definitely might get my attention, right? In terms of maybe following the leagues, the Champions Leagues back to back. I have a couple of friends that follow women football the same way we follow men football. I have about 3 or 4 of my guys that are like that. One is I think 2 are Chelsea fans. They follow. I don't know if it's because Chelsea women are doing very well in the Premier League, right? They've been following the Chelsea women, even the Champions League, and like back to back. And I always tell them, these guys, for me, the interest for women football is not there for now, but with time, I've watched a couple of tournaments, right? I watched the Women World Cup. I think I watched the Champions League final between Barcelona and Arsenal. Arsenal won that game. The World Cup, like I said, Nigeria played. I think Nigeria were knocked out by, was it Australia or who, in the semi-final or quarter-final. So I've actually watched a couple of women games, but following it to the letter, nah, I've not actually picked that kind of interest in women football, but hopefully I will. Angry Bird says Nigeria becomes good when Ronaldo plays against them. I think the only thing you actually talk about is Cristiano Ronaldo every single time. Angry Bird. And you always change your profile name. Arsenal 8517 says nobody, that Embolo one is a red card. He literally threw himself down. Now, that is not a red card, Adam. The reason I say this is because if that was inside the 18-yard box, then it is very much justified to give him a second yellow card. But this was in the center of the pitch. There is no way that's a yellow card. That is why IFAB came out to say that that was not a red card. And it was actually the right thing that they said there, because that red card was not supposed to have happened in that game. L01 Big says, I only watch Portugal, Nigeria in the national teams. Lightning Blade says, even women don't watch women football. Yeah, women football, with time it will gain the popularity it actually deserves, because I think there are some very, very good female teams. Very, very good female teams, honestly. But I think it's going to take time, and there needs to be a lot of investment in terms of finance for women football. There needs to be a lot of investment. Arsenal 851 says, I follow Champions League and EPL women. The Arsenal women's team in the Champions League is wicked. Yeah, I think Arsenal, I don't know if I'm wrong or correct, but I think the Arsenal women team are the only team in England to win the Champions League. I think this is the second, was it last year? I think last 2 seasons when they won it, that was their second time. Yeah, it was the second title for the Arsenal women. Chelsea, looking at how they have been dominating the Premier League. They've not won the Champions League, I think. Chelsea women have won the Women's Premier League, the Women's Super League, for like 5 times straight or 4 times straight. They have dominated the league for a very long time. Emma Hales, the current England national team boss, that woman dominated the Women's Super League in England, then handed over to the Olympic Lyon coach. I've forgotten that woman's name. So Chelsea has been doing, they are the king when it comes to, the queens when it comes to Women's Super League in the Premier League. Angry Bird says Ronaldo deserves 2 goals versus Uzbekistan Ballon d'Or. Lightning Blade says, how would you react if someone said Manchester United is playing and then they said, but it's the women's team? I watched the Manchester United women team, but that might be 1 out of 10 games. In a season, I might watch Man United women like 3 times. So that's why I said I don't follow women football like I do with the men's football. With time, I would pick more interest in women football. But for now, the interest is not really as intense as men's football. Picasso says, I think they are called the London Lioness. If it's the women's team playing, it's not really Manchester United. Nah, it's Man United. The thing is, I know maybe in the next year or 2 years, I might pick interest in women football. And maybe if I even want to do women football, I might create a new channel that is centered mainly on women football, where I will just be talking about women's football, right? Then this my main channel will be for, men's football or competitions. And the women one, I might just get a different channel and, it will be solely women football. But for now, I've not, I think when I will go for that is probably when I do content like full time, right? Because my schedule, I have businesses I need to attend to. So I cannot do all of this. I cannot share myself into different places at the same time. So for me to do that, it means I'm doing football content like on a full-time basis. Yeah, just stay at home, do different content on football and all that. But for now, nah, I don't really have that luxury of time to do it. Emilio Nguli says, "Hello, brother. Did you like Kylian Mbappe?" Yeah, I love Kylian very, very well. Kylian is one of my favorite players at the moment. Very, very top player. I like Kylian Mbappe very, very well. Guys, for those who are just joining us, kindly hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. A minute, I want to send someone a message, guys. 1 minute. La 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 6 5. I'm coming, guys. 1 minute 6 5. Ooh, yeah. 1 minute, guys. I'm coming. Let's see. La 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 la. Yeah, yeah. You get that shit to do me. Not the way you did do me. Girl, I love the way you do me. Do me, do me, do me. Girl, I love the way you do me. You go window. 31. Let me see. Then I say wahala day. Okay. Lightning Blade says paint drying greater than women football. Come on, man. The way some of you make the women football seem is not how it is. Come on. Arsenal 8517 says yes, that Chelsea team is good, but City won last year. They have been investing, and Lioness is someone you need to watch this coming season. Oh, honestly, I didn't know it was the Man City that won last year. I know Chelsea won the league for like four years in a row, or 5 years in a row. They dominated the league for a long time. And most times it's either City comes second. I think in the last 4 years, Man City has come second, Arsenal has come second, Man United has come second in the last 4 years or so. So City winning it, I'm not surprised, because at some point City women were, I think there was a season City women pushed the Chelsea team really, really hard. Yeah, and that's to tell you that I don't even follow the women football. I didn't know who won it last season. Official Jackson, welcome back. Picasso says Emma Hayes ruined the World Cup ITV coverage. How did she ruin it, Picasso? Angry Bird says Chloe Kelly clown. Why are you saying Chloe Kelly is a clown? Come on. Victim says I actually love that Chelsea player. What's her name? Rhys James' sister. What? That girl that wears number 10 for Chelsea. What? Something James is that? That girl is she even plays better than her brother. What's that girl's name? Oh, I don't know why I forgot her name. The girl is a very good player. Lightning Blade says, don't do that, Nobu, you won't get views. Now, it's one thing about views is it will take time, right? Whether it's men or women football, you have to it will take time, but it cannot give you engagement like men's football. That's a fact, right? But for now, I don't even have time to combine both women football and men's football. I really don't have the time now. Mariam says, "Hi Noble, I saw yesterday the news that my beloved country lost 6-0 in the African Women's Championship. Congratulations, this is amazing." Yeah, I saw that news yesterday. Yeah, I saw the news yesterday that you guys lost 6-0. It was very embarrassing, I would say. Very, very it was a very embarrassing result, honestly. But maybe they can actually do better in the next games. Maybe. Lightning Blade says Jose Mourinho coming to Netflix. Yeah, honestly, I am really looking forward to the new season. This new season is going to be wicked. Arsenal says Arsenal second nearly. Arsenal drew Lauren. Yeah, Lauren James. Yeah, thank you very much, Lauren James. That girl she's a wicked baller. I really love that girl. She's a fantastic player. Honestly, I love her game. Very, very good player. Lightning Blaze says, why was Messi fake crying when he already won the World Cup? Come on, man. Hey, God. Nah, the World Cup was actually very, very painful to Messi. Very, very painful to him. Yeah, it was very painful. But anyone would lose, would cry losing the World Cup. That's just a fact. Anyone would cry losing it. So it's not a surprise that Messi was crying that he lost the World Cup, because anyone definitely would cry losing the World Cup. La 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 la. Have you read the papers? Do you hear what they say? Rising unemployment, cost of living every day is getting hard. Another Sus Obama in a bus with your team kids. Victim says most teams in Premier League got new manager. It will be an unpredictable season, and we can say all teams having new managers and new players can do the unexpected. It will be interesting. Yes, that is really one of the main reasons I'm looking up to the next season. I'm really, really gassed up, sincerely, because this, in the last, I would say in the last 12 years, not even in the last 12 years, I would say in the last 20 years, or more than, for over 20 years now, this will be the most unpredictable season. The most unpredictable season. No, yes, I know Arsenal is the only team that a lot of people will say must or will win it, right? But if you look at the setup of the Premier League this season, it is highly unpredictable. Very, very, very much unpredictable. So you don't really know who would win it. You really don't know who will win it, honestly. So let's see. Mariam says Messi can't win it alone. Ref VAR, bring him home. Angry Bird says Yamal is better than Penaldo. I don't know what your obsession is with Ronaldo, this guy. I don't know. Victim says, how would Lampard's Coventry City perform? I think they are going to survive. Yes, I think they are going to survive 100%. I think they are going to survive. But teams like Hull City, I watched that Hull City game. Was it playoff? I watched the Hull City game. Except maybe they reinforced their team, but I don't really think that Hull City is going to survive the Prem. Sincerely, I don't think so. Like I said, I would give my prediction a week before the season starts in terms of my top four, the teams who are very much likely to get relegated. And I said we're going to do something. We're going to do a challenge on the channel, and the challenge is going to be predicting the top four in the Premier League. Right? If you predict it correctly, you're going to get. I'll pick the first two people on the channel to predict it correctly. They will get $50 each for getting the prediction correctly. So we're going to do it in two phases. The first phase is going to be from August till December the 31st, 2026. If you get the top four correctly in their chronological order in terms of how they finish, if you get it correctly, then you're getting $50. If you get it at the end of the season, we start from we are going to do the second phase from January 2027 till May 2027 when the season ends. So if you get it in both periods, you win also another $50. So that's the challenge we are going to be doing on the channel. So let's get to see who predicts let's say who is the best person to predict the season standing when it comes to the league table. So that's how we're going to do it, guys. Kahoot Hoot says there's nothing better than playing hide and seek with a toddler. Are you a toddler, man? Angry Bird says Ronaldo would win World Cup if he faced Uzbekistan every time. Olawale Hikrula says, who did Chelsea sign again? Chelsea signed Danny Welbeck from Brighton and Hove Albion. I love that signing. Yeah, I love that signing. Even though he's an old man, but the stats for a 35-year-old in the Premier League is very, very, very much overproductive. Yes, because if you look at one issue I have with players of this generation is their injury records. The injury records of most players this period is shocking. So to get a 35-year-old that played 37 games in the Premier League last season, missing just one game, and he came on as a substitute 11 times out of the 37. So he was a starter in 26 games last season for Brighton. He scored 13 goals and got 1 assist. Those numbers are very, very, very much good for the 35-year-old. If a 23-year-old gets that number, it's still a very, very good number for him. So this is a very good signing for Chelsea. Very, very good signing. I have been among those at the forefront criticizing Chelsea for their for their transfer policy. When it comes to signing kids here and there, they will sign kids, loan them, loan them, and all that. Yeah, I've been criticizing them, but this, I can say they got it right, 100%. But another deal they are going for that I don't understand is the Jordan Henderson deal. I really don't understand why Chelsea is pushing to sign Jordan Henderson. Henderson, yes, I know he's experienced. He's a seasoned professional and an England international for over a decade, right? But his quality on the pitch right now, I don't see that. For Granit Xhaka, if Chelsea gets Welbeck, which they've just concluded a deal for today, and Granit Xhaka, then I would pause and look at this Chelsea team and say, guys, we need to be very, very careful of Chelsea. Very careful. But Jordan Henderson now. And if you look at Granit Xhaka, he is one of the main reasons why Sunderland did very well last season. His leadership, his quality on the field was very, very, very much helpful to Sunderland last season. Arsenal 8517 says fantasy football also. Okay. Nothing says Noble, today I scored 38-yard free kick. 38 yard. Well, massive congrats to you, Nothing. Massive congrats. Victim says, I can't see the type of haram ball shit Burnley does. That's very irritating. Some teams do that now. J Predicts Football says, it's my birthday Friday. Could you do a shout out? Alright, shout out to you, J Predicts, for your birthday. Happy birthday in advance, actually, since it's Friday, 2 days from now. Mariam says, Noble, today is my 48th birthday. Wish me a happy birthday. Mariam, happy happy birthday in advance. I know you said today, but it's in advance. I'll put it for you. AM Edit says, Messi is the GOAT of volleyball. Learned from Maradona. Nothing says, if you haram ball is best tactics, 100% fun. Lightning Blade says, Messi is a greedy person trying to win 2 World Cups. He's better not be in next cup. Messi in the next World Cup. I don't think Messi is going to be available in the next World Cup. I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. Even Ronaldo, I saw some news saying that the Portuguese national team is trying to plead with Ronaldo not to retire now, that Portugal is going to lose a lot of money, a lot of supporters and all that, that they are not yet fully prepared to let Cristiano Ronaldo retire from international football. And it was very, very funny when I saw that post. Portugal just need to move on away from Ronaldo. Yeah, maybe he can play the Nations League this year, but the Euros next year, I don't think it's going to be wise for Ronaldo to play. Even for himself, he just needs to go rest or just focus only on club football. Since your goal right now is to hit the 1K goals, once you hit it, I'm a big Ronaldo fan, you guys know. Once Ronaldo hits the 1K goals, he should just call it a day. He should just retire. He doesn't need to prove anything to anybody. For example, myself. Ronaldo doesn't need to prove anything to me or to anyone in the world. I still see him the same way I've seen him years ago. So it doesn't change anything for me. But I think he needs to retire from international football, honestly. Olawale says, Welbeck is a good signing compared to Delap and his nonsense miss. 100%. Delap scored, was it 1 goal or 2 goals for Chelsea in the league last season? I would say Liam Delap was the worst signing. I might want to call Isak the worst signing because of the transfer fee. But looking at Liam Delap, I thank God that Man United did not sign that kid, because we were very, very much invested in signing Liam Delap. But he opted to go to Chelsea because Chelsea qualified for the Champions League. So Man United wasn't in the Champions League. He said, nah, he needed to play Champions League football. And he went to play it. How did that turn out to be for him? So the Liam Delap deal for me was a terrible one for Chelsea. And to know that he scored just 1 or 2 goals in the Prem is actually a disaster, sincerely. Nothing says, guys, Messi and CR7 love each other. Nomad UCL says, Zidane and Mbappe should win the Euros to be the modern GOATs respectively. Mourinho should bring Real Madrid their first ever treble. Perfect ending for multiple stories in 2 years. I think Jose is going to be a success in his second spell at Real Madrid. Yeah, this season I'm pretty sure Mourinho is going with 1 trophy. At least 1 trophy. I don't know the trophy that is going to be, but I know Perez would want it to be La Liga. Maybe next season Madrid can look towards the Champions League, but this season that will be starting in August, I think the main goal for Jose Mourinho would be the La Liga title, because Florentino Perez cannot afford to see Barcelona lift the La Liga 3 times in a row. 2 times in a row is already a disaster. Already a disaster for Madrid. AM Edit says, I hope Messi banned from all countries. Why? Mariam says, Noble, buy a cat and keep it here with you. I'll be its biggest fan and let it play at Cat FC. I feel bored. Nah, for me, I'm not even an animal person. Whether a cat or a dog, right? I'm not even an animal person. But if you give me Like if it's an option between choosing a cat and a dog, even though I'm not an animal person, I would rather go for a dog than a cat. Yeah, I would rather pick a dog ahead of a cat. I'm not an animal person, right? There are some dogs I'll see, I'll be like, oh, this dog is very fine. But for cats, I don't just like cats. I don't know why I don't like them. Arsenal 851 says, sorry, brother, was having my breakfast. It's all good, bro. It's all good. That means you're back to the UK now. You've left the US. Lion Town says, can we please stop talking about Messi and Ronaldo? It's done. Move on, Noble. We are tired. Bro, the thing is this, right? If you notice after the World Cup, I even before the World Cup ended, I actually stopped talking about it because for me, it's at some point it even got so boring for me, right? I saw a lot of Nigerian content creators on Instagram. They were going back and forth with the Messi Ronaldo debate, and for me at some point I got fed up with all those stuffs, right? When I see them doing back and forth, Messi this, Ronaldo this, Messi this, and I'm like, I can understand the banter for one day, 2 days maybe, but for more than 1 week, every day, like each person will put out like 5 6 content on Ronaldo. The other person will put out 5 6 7 content. What's it called, on Messi? It's honestly, it's just crazy. Seriously, it's just crazy. For me, I already made my point known, and I've said this, right? The fact that I'm a Ronaldo fan does not mean I am going to uh, start to talk bad about Messi. Yes, I say things that I see about the Argentina team that I did not like, which was very obvious to many, even people that have been supporting Messi over the years. This World Cup opened their eyes to a lot of things. So, for me, that's why. How many times have you seen me make? I think the last video I made about Messi was the video I made about 2 weeks ago, right? When I said one of the many reasons why I will not see Messi as the GOAT. I think that was the last video I made. And ever since, I've not made any video as regards Lionel Messi or Ronaldo. For me, it's done, right? So, the debate cannot end. It cannot end. I started watching these guys because I've been watching football before they started playing. When they started, I watched them, and ever since they started, the debate has always been there, and it will never end. So that's why for me, I don't like to engage in it every time. Ronaldo, Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldo, Messi. The only problem I had with some Messi fans was because they were trying to shove Messi on my neck, and I'm like, come on, guys. You have the right to choose who your goat is, and I also have the right to choose mine. So let's let's just respect each other and leave it at that. But you cannot force me to agree to what you're saying. The same way I won't force you. That's just it for me, bro. The Kevy says hi. Kevy, where are you connecting from, man? Kevy, is it? Are you from the US or UK? I don't know if that's an abbreviation, whether it's a Kelvin or Kevy, because Kevy is the first time I'm hearing that. Maybe it's a short form of Kelvin. Arsenal 8517 says, for me, number one, I love your content, but women football is evolving, so you need to be different from other streamers where they talk where they talk crack about women's game. Now that's why I said that. Now the truth is this: if you watch how women football has evolved in the last 4 years, compare it to 10 years ago, it's not the same. Look at the what's it called? I think the final, the FA Cup final between was it? I think it was Man United, Man City. I can't remember. The Man United, Man City, one of these two teams played the FA Cup final last season. Look at the attendance at Wembley Stadium. So the attention and recognition women football is getting now is way above what it used to get 4, 5, 6 years ago. So women's football, like you said, 100% is evolving. So that's why I said for me, for now, I have not really picked full interest in watching women's football. Yes, I've watched a couple of their games here and there, but I've not really picked full interest in watching it. So hopefully I get to pick full interest in watching it, and I would want to have a separate channel where I just, talk about women's football, or I might just incorporate it on this same channel, but I'm yet to decide on when I'll start doing women's football fully. Ahmed says, yes, let's talk new debate, Olise or Yamal. For me, I'll pick Michael Olise over Yamal for now. Yamal, for me, I like him, but I think he's had a drop off recently, and I feel mainly it's because of the injury he had before the World Cup. And not only that, last season, Yamal was not at the same level he used to be 2, 3 seasons ago. So, based off of last season and current form, I'm picking Michael Olise ahead of Lamine Yamal. Mariam says, buy a lion noble, it will be better than cats and dogs. Honestly, like I said, I'm not an animals person. So, for me, my wife has severally told me to get an animal, but I'm like, baby, come on. I'm not really I'm not really an animal person, honestly. She likes dogs, but I'm not really an animal person, seriously. I know there are many people, I have some friends that actually love animals, but for me, I don't know. I didn't grow up having pets, maybe dogs or cats. I did not grow up having that. So that's why I don't really, maybe since I've been an adult, I've not bought any pets to keep at my place. Yodako says Danny Welbeck will still score 10 goals in the Premier League, even playing for Chelsea. Yes, I think Welbeck can get up to 10 goals at Chelsea, 100%. That was why I said Man United, I don't know why they slept on that deal. I don't know why they slept on that deal, seriously. Mariam says, how are you, Yodako? Emilio Unguli says, Lionel Messi banned football. I will never support Lionel Messi. The thing is, some people change their opinions about Messi during this World Cup, while others still remain the same. So it's just it. Arsenal 8517 says, second, I love that you're doing so. Hope you put all your subs together and organize fantasy football would be nice. Honestly, I will. Fantasy football, I've been hearing about it, even when it comes to gaming and all that. But I'm not really someone that is into gaming, but I think I will have to look into that, how it works, and yeah. But for now, I'm still yet to know how that works. Yeah, I don't play fantasy football. Esports or what they call it, I don't play it. So, but I will try to look into that to see how it works. Ahmed says, I once saw Messi fans saying MLS better than Saudi League. Like, bro, MLS is teenagers league. The MLS now, I think the Saudi League is more difficult than the MLS. It's tougher. Arsenal 851 says, about Messi and Ronaldo debate will always be there, but can't we all come together and acknowledge that these two guys have set the example to the younger generations on how to stay professional for decades? Yes, one thing I respect about Ronaldo and Messi is that these guys are top professionals. When you talk about elite athletes or footballers, these guys are the pinnacle. They are the top of it. They are disciplined. You don't see Ronaldo or Messi living reckless life or maybe going to club, drink here and there. Nah, these guys should be examples to younger generation footballers, because if you can model your life around Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's actually very much good because Ronaldo is a fashion man, Lionel Messi is not a fashion man. So if you're a footballer that loves fashion, you're pretty much into fashion, you can use Ronaldo as your role model to channel towards that angle of fashion. Then if you're someone that is not into fashion as a footballer, a top professional, not into fashion, you just want to live a quiet life, just you, your wife, and your kids, that's all. Then you channel your career towards the angle of Lionel Messi. Yeah, it doesn't mean that Messi doesn't have other businesses. Messi has other businesses, but Ronaldo has more and bigger businesses than Lionel Messi. So it's something lots of these young players need to learn. Ronaldo is a fashion man. He has his own brands. His underwears. He has perfume brands. He has hotels. Lots of other businesses. I think Ronaldo has one of these. Is it food supplement company? I think he collaborated with one company for the food supplement stuff. I think Lionel Messi has a couple of other businesses as well. So these guys are what we should see, or younger footballers should see as examples to model their career towards. Yodako says, hello Mariam. Noble, I haven't watched your streams for over 2 weeks now. Sorry, I was on holiday at Albania. It's all good, bro. Yeah, it's a holiday time, so very, very much important to go on holiday. Holiday is very good. That's why for me, after the World Cup, I decided to have like 2-3 days off, no streaming, just chill and relax my head, because the past 3 months has been, would I say 4 months, has been very stressful. Back to back, every single day, back to back content, live stream. And I just decided to get a couple of days off. Yeah. So I understand that. But it's nice to have you back. Yodako. Arsenal 8517 says, sometimes when I see people condemn players, I know which generations they come from and how they see football. Yeah, it's most of the younger generation. And sincerely speaking, some of these guys didn't watch Ronaldo when he was coming up, and also Lionel Messi when he was coming up. Some of them started watching these guys between 2018, 2017, which for me, that was like the second phase of their peak. Ronaldo and Messi's first peak were between 2008 till like 2012, right? Those 4-5 years was their first peak. Then their second peak was 2014 period. And that's, I think 2013 period to like 2018-19 was another peak for them. So people who didn't watch these guys prior to that last peak they had in 2018, 17, 19 wouldn't understand a lot. They would not, honestly. Sean Chelsea Sport says, hi, good morning. What's up, bro? I'm doing amazing. Sean, nice to have you back on the channel. Ahmed says, when Messi fans lose debate, they will always bring up World Cup. Nomad UCL says, hot take, Yamal and Pedri will never win a UCL in their careers. That's a strong take, but I think they can win the Champions League with Hansi Flick if they invest heavily in their squad. Hansi Flick, in all honesty, is one of the most productive managers in world football right now. He's one of the most productive managers because I can say that Hansi Flick has been more productive than Luis Enrique at PSG, and I'll give my reason. The main reason for me saying this is because Hansi Flick has done so much and overachieved with little or nothing. But Luis Enrique has achieved a lot with a lot of financing. Look at the amount spent on Joao Neves to be signed, that was signed from Benfica. Look at how much PSG signed Kvicha Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. You look at what they spent signing, what's this guy's name? I think the Chavalia goalkeeper, I've actually forgotten the exact fee, so I can't really remember the figure right now. Bakola, no, Desire Doué was signed from, was it Olympic? Yeah, it was signed from Olympic Lyon. So PSG, they invested heavily in that squad. Yes, they have a lot of young players there, but they invested heavily in that squad. And Barcelona, how much did they spend? They spend little or nothing. They just focus on getting players on loan because there are no money there. Yodako says, Nobu, do you think Lamine will surpass Neymar? Lamine Yamal, nah. The reason I like Lamine Yamal, don't get me wrong, but I think Lamine Yamal needs to hit world football for like 5 years, 6 years straight. Let's see what this kid is about. He's had a very good start to his career. Better start than Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, right? When they were 16, 17, 18 years. Lamine Yamal has had a better career than them in terms of when they started early. But I'm looking at now to the next 5, 6 years. What can this kid do? What can he do individually? Can he uplift his team when they are in dark times, get them to win trophies? Not the collective, for example, like Spain winning the World Cup now. For me, Lamine Yamal had no positive impact in that team winning it. People like Rodri had more impact. Dani Olmo had more impact. Mikel Oyarzabal had more impact. Kukureya had more impact. Pedro Porro had more impact. Kubasi had more impact. Unai Simon had more impact. You look at Alex Baena, he had more impact. What's this other defender? Laporte had more impact. These guys had more impact in Spain winning the World Cup than Lamine Yamal. Right? Yes, the team won it. You are definitely part of the team. You are celebrating with them. But I'm looking at him individually impacting his team just like he did in the Euros. Right? So I need to see more from Lamine Yamal. I love the kid, though sometimes his attitude off the pitch annoys a lot of people. But I don't mind such characters. But you need to deliver for me on the pitch. That's the most important thing. Arsenal 8517 says, honestly, both the women's and men's did well for City's women. Did a double winning the FA Cup and League, and City won both domestic cups. Yeah, City has invested a lot in their women's football. I think more than other teams. They have invested heavily in their team. So it's paying off now. So Chelsea dominating for like 4-5 years, winning the league back to back. It seems like City are the next to take over. But let's see who wins it this coming season. AM Edit says, Noble, imagine Ronaldo joined Man City instead of United in 2021. Honestly, he should have joined Man City. It would be better. He spoke with Sir Alex, and Sir Alex told him, you cannot join City. You cannot join City. Arsenal 8517 says, bro, it's not a game. It's EPL fantastic football. You pick the players every week. Is he picking the best players every week or what? I honestly have not understood how. I know people do fantasy football and all that, but for me, I have I have not I've not maybe gone through the fantasy football to know how it works. That's just it. But I will try my best to look at it. Yeah, I'll try my best to look at it. La 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 la. Ahmed says they are the reason Neymar not won the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, if not for Ronaldo and Messi, Neymar should have gotten at least 2 Ballon d'Ors. If not for those 2 guys, Neymar should have gotten at least 2. LO1 Big says, what's your favorite top 3 Manchester United players of all time? My top 3 Man United players of all time. I like Sir Bobby Charlton. Yeah, I don't want to call the Trinity Dennis Law, Charlton, and George Best, right? But I just want to take one out of the Trinity of Man United. So I would go with Sir Bobby Charlton, Wayne Rooney, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, these are my top 3. Arsenal 8517 says, Yamal during his breakthrough season, defenders don't know how much about him, and now defenders know about him, and that's why you see the World Cup was never about Yamal. Even Euro, Rodri was the main man. Now in his breakthrough season, he did very well, and in the Euros, he was disturbing on his side. Nico Williams was disturbing on the other side, so he was pretty much the flanks of Spain doing the very, very dirty job for them in terms of breaking teams down. Because when Nico Williams gets you one-on-one, he can beat you to go on and cross or shoot. Lamine Yamal, the same thing. He can beat you 1v1. He was very, very much unpredictable. But now, yes, you have a point. Defenders now understand Lamine's game, and sometimes instead of him maybe trying to beat some players, he just gives those NASA passes and crosses to the other side for his teammate to score. Arsenal says, semis, I never know how Yamal won the Man of the Match award when Rodri was the Man of the Match, just that these votes are from the people. Yeah, I was surprised with that semi-final vote. Honestly, I was very, very much surprised with that vote, because it's all about who you like. Yeah, it's just all about who you like, not based on the performance in that game proper. Mariam says, Noble, my favorite player is Onana. He's phenomenal. The way he blocks shots is wow. Don't worry, I will put him in the Egyptian post and get, what's that your goalkeeper's name? What's that your goalkeeper's name? I will replace him with Onana. I think that would be good. Arsenal says, even I'm not happy with Arsenal in this transfer market because of the way we do business, because the way City, Chelsea and Spurs have moved. Honestly, it's from Barclays EPL itself where it works like league. For Bobby Charlton, Dennis and Giggs, I didn't want to go with the picking 3 names from the Trinity, right? That was why I just picked one name from United Trinity and went for the younger generation, right? Because Sir Bobby was the top goal scorer for Man United before when Rooney came to break that record and set a new record. Rooney is currently the holder of that highest goal scored by a Man United player. Then Giggs, yeah, I would have gone with Giggs in place of Ronaldo, but yeah, I enjoyed Ronaldo in those last 3 years of his stay at Man United. He was very, very explosive. But for Giggs, I would say if you look at Giggs' longevity in the game, yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, Giggs' longevity was really, really crazy. Angry Bird says, Ronaldo is not even top 10 players of United. That's your opinion, man. Nothing says Kubasi was top 3 players of Spain. Yes, Kubasi was very solid, bro. Kubasi was very, very solid for Spain in that World Cup, and I was very, very much impressed with him. Honestly, I am not Kubasi's biggest fan, but I was very, very much impressed with his performance in the World Cup. Honestly, I was very, very impressed. Mariam says, I saw videos of Onana begging to join Nigeria. Oh my god. Very funny. Angry Bird says he ruined United in 2021 before he came. United was second in league. Now he came, he made United finish 16th. Arsenal 8517 says, for me, Kubasi was awesome. Yes, and I was surprised Pau Kubasi was not even in FIFA's. That was really crazy. Honestly, it was really crazy. But it is what it is. FIFA say it's the fans that actually do the vote. But nah, for me, I would have gone with Pau Kubasi and Lisandro Martinez if you're looking at individual performance. And Upamecano that they put there, Saliba even played better than Dayot Upamecano. Upamecano that was absolute garbage in that World Cup. Arsenal says, did you hear about what United said about Alex Scott? Nah, I've not seen. I saw the news yesterday that Bournemouth were demanding £90 million for Alex Scott, and I'm like, what the F is wrong with transfer market right now? Alex Scott for £90 million. Why? Even the transfer market is really, really annoying at this point. Honestly, it is really, really annoying because why will Alex Scott be going? Yodako says Kukureya's tattoo of De La Fuente looks so bad. He needs to remove it immediately. It ain't that deep. Now he said it, and I guess he said it without believing that was going to happen. So when it happened, he had to do what he said he was going to do for sure. He had to do that. Arsenal says, well said, Upa was garbage. Yeah, I don't rate that guy. And I say this. In recent history of football, Dayot Upamecano is the most overrated defender. I've said this many times. Dayot Upamecano is highly overrated. Highly overrated. Mariam says, Noble, Onana's tears are precious to you. Let him join Nigeria, man. Nah, I don't. I already told you he's very much close to joining Egypt. Arsenal 8517 says, the board said Alex Scott is only valued £40 million and they paid Santos more. Bro. Alex Scott being valued at 40, I don't have any problem with that. But the Santos deal is one deal that did not sit well with me, and I've made this known, right? I've made this known because Santos is not a starter at Chelsea, and even on the bench for Chelsea, he is not their first option on the bench. They will have to go for Romeo Lavia first before they look towards Andre Santos. After Santos, they will now look for Esugo. So I was saying this to a couple of my friends in our group chat, a Man United group chat, and I told them that I told them that the the Santos deal is very annoying because I believe Man United's academy boy Toby Collier can give me exactly what Andre Santos would give Manchester United. So I don't really understand why Man United would go spend 50 million pounds for him. Honestly, I really don't understand that. Diablo Gamer says love from Singapore. Alright, Diablo Gamer, nice to have you on the channel. Yodako says Alex Scott is only worth 30 million in my eyes. For me, I don't have any problem with Man United valuing Alex Scott at 40. That is just the honest truth. I don't have a problem with that. Because when I saw 90 million pounds valuation for Alex Scott, and I was like, what is wrong with the transfer market these days? What is wrong? Matheus Fernandes went to Spurs for 85 million pounds when he got two clubs relegated. Now, when a player gets relegated with a club, the value drops. And this has set a very, very bad precedent in Premier League and in football. How can a player ordinarily, before he got relegated, right, his actual value for me, when it comes to Matheus Fernandes' actual value should be around 35 million pounds. At most 40 million pounds. Now, he got relegated with West Ham. And you're paying 85 million pounds to sign him, for God's sake. This really, really has messed up the transfer market. Also, Sandro Tonali going for 100 million pounds to the same Spurs. Spurs were just so desperate. That was why they paid those money. Because if Spurs were not in a very, very dire situation in terms of struggling to survive last season, they would not have signed those guys for those fees. They would not have done that. Honestly, they would not have. If it was Danny Levi, he wouldn't have sanctioned that deal for that amount. Angry Bird says most shots blocked. Bro, Upamecano was the best defender in World Cup. Upamecano. The same Upamecano I watched and you watched. Honestly, Upamecano, that is why I said that guy is the most overrated defender. Upamecano. I have been saying this for years and many people are beginning to see what I saw years ago. Upamecano, I don't rate that guy one bit. Liab Yelg says Konate is also overrated. Yes, I honestly don't like those guys' style of play. I am a defender when I play football, right? Though I didn't go pro. But when I see Dayot Upamecano play and Ibrahima Konate play, what's his name? Ibrahima Konate play, I tell myself that if I had gotten the opportunity to go pro, I'm not joking, I'm not mincing words, I would do better than these guys. 100%. Konate, when it comes to that football IQ, he doesn't have it. Upamecano makes too many mistakes. Too many. Did you guys watch that game against Senegal? Look at what Sarr and Nicolas Jackson was doing to Dayot Upamecano. That was why when France went on to win that game in the second half, I was like, Senegal messed all this up because they had the opportunity to beat them. And for Upamecano, for Konate moving to Real Madrid, out of all the signings that Jose Mourinho did, right? Florentino Perez did for Jose Mourinho, The only signing I'm not comfortable with is Ibrahima Konate. I am not comfortable with him, except he comes to Madrid and proves me wrong and does better than what I've seen and I've known for the past 5 years about him. If that is the case, fine and good. But for Konate, nah. But the honest truth is, if you keep Konate and Upamecano, I would rather pick Ibrahima Konate than Upamecano. Upamecano, for me, like I said, he is the most overrated defender I've seen in over 2 decades. He is. The guy is just too overrated. Mariam says, congratulations, Onana will be playing for Rangers FC. Arsenal 8517 says, United bidded for Tyler Adams today, 35 million. Sinobu, United is just trying to blame the market, which is true, but now they are taking a piece. A friend of mine in our group, like I told you, spoke about that Tyler Adams deal. And he was like, Nobu, what do you think about this Tyler Adams deal? I said to him, bro, we don't need this guy. We don't. I don't know why these guys who are in charge of the transfer are just moving like people who are confused, that don't have a direction where they are going. That is the vibe these guys are giving me. They are behaving like people who had no plan. At least you should have plan A, plan B, plan C, and probably plan D for each position or each angle you're looking at reinforcing. If player A is not available and you feel this player's valuation is actually way higher than what his actual value is, if you bid with the club and they reject, you go for a second bid, they reject, you leave them the hell alone. Go to your next target. Stop wasting time. That time factor is one thing that annoys me the most with Manchester United. It pisses me off, honestly. Sorry to say that, but I get really, really annoyed with the way Man United run their transfer. That was why the Yuri Tillemans deal, I was very, very much overjoyed when I heard of it, because it came out of the blue. Boom, yesterday the links was there. Boom, today we got it, here we go. And just within hours, the deal was done. Not it will take you 6 freaking weeks. First thing you will hear is United are monitoring. They have turned to monitoring spirits. They will monitor for 3 weeks. After the monitoring, you will hear that United are speaking with the player's agent. It will take 1 week. Now, after 4 weeks, they will now go for the first bid. After first bid, it will take them 1 more week to go for the second bid. It's just annoying. And Arsenal are very much close to behaving the same way in the transfer market. Arsenal has only signed Christos Solis from Club Brugge. They are very much close to reaching an agreement with Newcastle. Yes, they have reached personal terms with Bruno Guimaraes. The Vinicius Junior deal, like we saw yesterday, reports coming out from Spain is that Vini used Arsenal to get a new deal with Real Madrid. That was what we got. But at least it showed that Arsenal were very, very ambitious pushing for Vini, because Vini would have been a perfect signing for Arsenal, and that would have been a statement signing. That was why I said that deal should not happen. Honestly, that deal for Vini should not happen, because if Vini comes to Arsenal, with the way Arteta prepares his team to defend, it will be nearly impossible to stop them next season. But I thank God that deal is not going to go through, honestly. Lil Abi, is it okay? Liab Yelk says Upamecano was so bad against Real Madrid. He nearly cost them the game, but they survived and PSG exposed him. Yes, very correct. You see that game Bayern played against Real Madrid. Upamecano made about 2 or 3 clear mistakes that would have led to goal. But Mane Neuer saved those, but I think he made a mistake that Kylian Mbappe took the ball. Mbappe was supposed to score twice, but Mbappe missed it. Mane Neuer saved it. And Vini Jr. had one opportunity from Upamecano's mistake. He missed it as well. But PSG, he made a mistake, and PSG did not even miss one. I think out of, because they scored, was it 5 goals against, was it 5 goals that PSG scored against Bayern? I don't think out of their, I think PSG had about 6 or 7 shots on target. They scored 5 goals from it. That was to tell you how clinical PSG was against Bayern. So that was why I said, you see Upamecano, he did not start this season. I've been saying this for the longest. Upamecano is highly overrated. That guy makes too many mistakes. Some people call him Upa Maguire. Nah, but I just think he's just one lucky footballer. Honestly, he's one lucky footballer. Anas Majubi, nice to have you back, man. Angry Bird says in World Cup he was best defender. He was top 3 for sure in World Cup though. Nah, I cannot. What are you saying? Upamecano being best 3 in the World Cup. That's not true, bro. That is not true. I was very much surprised when I saw him in the FIFA 11. I can understand the Vozinha situation because a lot of fans would vote for Vozinha because he became the most popular goalkeeper in the world, not only in that World Cup, but even for ex goalkeepers that have retired. He got, as at that point before the World Cup ended, he had about 28 or 29 million followers, more than the likes of Iker Casillas, Thibaut Courtois, Mane Neuer. He had with this guy, this former Real Madrid goalkeeper, is it Keylor Navas? Yeah, Keylor Navas. He had more followers than him. So that publicity gave Vozinha the opportunity to be in that first 11. But for me, if I had voted, my pick would have been Unai Simon, because Unai Simon was flawless in the World Cup. He conceded just 1 goal. And I think he had, was it 7 clean sheets? He only conceded 1 goal against Belgium. That was the only game Unai Simon conceded a goal. And he was instrumental in every game. If you watch their Portugal game, their France game, look at the way he came out to claim the ball. So that is the only player in the 11 I would say, okay, I didn't really like Vozinha there, but I understand why he was put in there. But for Upamecano, nah. For the fans, there are people I saw doing their first 11. I know I didn't do that, right? People I saw doing their first 11 in the World Cup, no one had Upamecano there. All you see would be Saliba, Kubasi, Martinez, Kubasi. You would not see Upamecano in their 11, but all of a sudden from nowhere we saw Upamecano. Shadow Sorcerer says, hi bro. Shadow Sorcerer, welcome back, man. Nice to have you back. Whoa, who was spamming the chat? Arsenal 8517 says, why do you think Arsenal never wanted to pay for Rodgers? Yeah, the inflation, the way clubs inflate the prices of players now is ridiculous. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Arsenal were very, very keen to sign Rodgers, but the fee that Villa was quoting was crazy. And I think Villa quoted that amount and valued Rodgers at that amount because of the fee that Elliot Anderson went for. And they knew that Rodgers had a better season than Elliot Anderson. So Aston Villa were like, if Matheus Fernandes, who got relegated with West Ham, was sold for £85 million, Sandro Tonali, who had a poor season with Newcastle, was sold for £100 million, Elliot Anderson, who scored 4 goals and had about 6 assists for Nottingham Forest, that finished about down, I think about 15th or 16th. They sold Elliot Anderson for £160 million. They cannot sell Morgan Rogers, who had 10 goals and about 6 or 8 assists, for less than any of these guys. So that was why they had to add £1 million on top. Because they cannot see this guy go for lesser amount. The transfer market is crazy, and especially in the Premier League. The ways players are being quoted, the valuation clubs put their players now is ridiculous. Shadow Sorcerer says, long time no see. I went on vacation for like 4 days. Alright, man. Nice to have you back, bro. Really, really nice. Yodako says, Spurs might get relegated next season because they are not really bringing that much changes. Tonali is a fraud. He is not even top 3 CDM in the Premier League alone. Nah, I think the Spurs' new coach, Roberto De Zerbi, is a top manager. He very much likely would stay at Spurs for at tops 2 seasons. He will leave because he doesn't stay long at a club. He changes clubs like one changes their clothes. So he's not going to be long at Spurs. But for this coming season, I predicted that Spurs are definitely going to be in top 6, top 7. For sure. Anas Madrubi says, PSV nice. Alright. L01 Big says, bro, can you explain me why some people from Africa shout on live streams? You're pretty chill, for example. Well, it all depends on individual. Yeah, it depends on individual. For me, when there are games, maybe my team is playing and the emotions are high, you might see me shout in 1 or 2 occasions, right? So it all depends on 1, the occasion, 2, the individuals involved. There are some people who that is their style. They just like, they will scream on top of their voice, and yeah, that's it. So it all depends on individual. Yodako says, back-to-back 7th place finishes Spurs. The game is so gone. They need some prayers. United is going crazy this transfer window. United haven't done anything I would say is beyond the ordinary. They have been very, very bad in their transfer dealing. Honestly, United have been very, very poor in their transfer. David Lee says, Danny Welbeck was a backup player in his prime. Chelsea will regret this. He is old. The age for me is not a problem for Danny Welbeck, David Lee. The reason I say this is because if you look at Welbeck's stats last season, he had 13 goals and 1 assist. For a 35-year-old, that is a very, very good output. Very good. Even it's overachieving. For a 35-year-old, that is overachieving. So I don't think Chelsea will regret it. Honestly, I don't think they will. Raymond Kangumba says, hi Noble, how are you? Super 6 sign for Newcastle United right now, and Honeytech should sign for £30 million. Small deal for Newcastle right now. Yes, from Ray. Alright, Ray, welcome back, man. Nice to have you. Nice to have you on the channel, Ray. Mariam says, Noble, I'm bored, bro. Ooh, sorry about that, Mariam. MM says, Upamecano has bozo moment, but in the World Cup, he was elite, covering for that weak Kunde as well. It was actually the end part of your comment that got me laughing. Covering for that weak Kunde as well. Honestly, Kunde did not have the best of tournaments. I'm going to say this, right? I'm someone that I analyze the game without any sentiment or bias. If I want to banter a club or a team, I will just go on and banter them. And if I'm giving my analysis, I will say, okay, this is my analysis of this game. Upamecano, if you watch the way France played, in most part of the games that France played, aside that Senegal, their first game against Senegal, which the first half, France was under severe pressure, that they got really, really exposed. And Senegal kept on missing chances upon chances. And when France came back in the second half, they created a couple of chances and scored. I think they scored 2-0. They scored 3-0, I think. Then Senegal scored 2 goals. I think the game ended up to be either 3-1 or 3-2. It was Sad that scored for them. Aside that Senegal game in the first game of the World Cup, if you look at the second game up to like their game against Spain in the semi-final, France did not have their team under pressure. It was that Spain game that France was under serious pressure, and you could see they looked confused. Not like they had no clue whatsoever that they needed to do to get themselves out of it. So other games that you were saying Upamecano was elite, it was because France was not under any sort of pressure. They were not. So for me, Upamecano, I can name you other players who had better defensive performance in the World Cup. His partner, William Saliba, actually played better. William Saliba played better. If you look at Lisandro Martinez also played better than him in the World Cup. I can even argue that Cuti Romero was a bit better than Upamecano in the World Cup. Nothing says because of Minje, Upa can't play good. He have to cover Minje's space too. Now, Kim Min-jae has even been benched. He's always been benched by Upamecano in Bayern. Company like Upamecano, he prefers him to Kim Min-jae. He likes to pair Upamecano and Jonathan Tah. Those are the centre-back pairing for Bayern. Ahmedi says, Noble, Upamecano is even lucky Haaland didn't play versus France and Norway game, otherwise he would be Upa Maguire. Yeah, even that game, I think Norway scored, was it 2 goals? And that game, I was not happy that the Norwegian manager decided to bench him. Leah by LG says, Man United should sign Keith Smith. Who is that, bro? I've never heard of that name. Which team does he play for? Raymond says, Man United should sign Keith Smith. Keith Smith? Okay, an update this morning from Fabrizio Romano. Real Madrid have approached Manchester City for Rodri for the first time. Negotiations have started with verbal discussions between clubs. Florentino Perez has given approval to the deal after doors closed for months. Real indicates they are ready to spend over 50 million euros. What? 50 million euros for Rodri. 50 million euros for Rodri. No. That's a surprise, I would say. Honestly, 50 million euros for Rodri. 50 million euros for Rodri. That is crazy, guys. That is crazy. What? Nah, 50 million euros for Rodri. This is insane. Whoa. Well, let's see how the transfer market is going to turn out to be, because I am very, very much surprised with this fee. 50 million. Shadow Sorcerer says Al Nassr debt. Some people have been carrying fake news as regards the figure. Leah Bai says Real Madrid wanted to buy him, but AZ Alkmaar are demanding £100 million. You mean the Smith boy? Honestly, I will check that kid out, but it's the first time I'm hearing about him. Smith. Lee Smith. I'll check him out later to see. It's the first time I'm hearing of him. I'll check him out to see what his game is like. Mariam says, let's get the likes up, guys, and don't forget to sub if you're new. Thank you very much, Mariam. AM Edit says, Noble Man United should sign Otis Khan, Pakistan player. Ah, God. Okay, guys. I would have to end the stream here. I'll see you guys later tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you guys later tomorrow, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I've been live for over 2 hours, and we've discussed a lot of things. Actually, we've discussed a lot of things, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like I said, on Saturday we have lots of games. Chelsea is playing against Tottenham on Saturday. Man City is playing against Inter Milan. Man United is playing against Atletico Madrid, and Arsenal is playing against Girona. Liverpool will be playing against Wrexham on Sunday. I think it's Sunday, yeah. So I'll be live to do all these games with you guys. says 50 million or less is fine. Can't be too high because Rodri is old and has injury problems. Honestly, I'm surprised about that. Yeah, I'm surprised. Rodri, how old is Rodri? Rodri should be about 29. Is Rodri up to 30? I'm looking at Rodri might be 28, 29. Yeah, 28, 29. But if he's up to 30, I'm surprised then. Okay, AM Edit says Rodri is like 30, so it's fair. Well, let's see how that goes. He had a successful surgery. He had a successful back surgery. Was it 2 days ago? So let's see if he ends up going to Real Madrid. Though he's not going to be out for too long. Yeah, he's not going to be out for too long. But I'm glad this surgery was a success. Anyway, guys, thank you very much, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your days, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Except there's a breaking news, maybe an exclusive from Romano or David Ornstein, whichever one. We are definitely going to react to it, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, he turned 30 in June. Really? I was looking at 28. 29. Yes, I think your point is even the main one I'm looking at. His contract expiring next season because he's yet to sign a new contract. So yeah, that's a fair deal. Yeah, I get it. It's a fair deal. His contract will expire next season. So it's either you sell him for 50 million euros or you let him go for free next season. And you can't allow such a player to live for free. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you all tomorrow, except we have an exclusive news. Then I'll be live. Take care, guys.